Okay, in this video tutorial, what we're going to look at is YouTube tags, and in particular, trying to avoid having YouTube consider you spamming using your tags. Now, a lot of people might use tags effectively, but a lot of people use them ineffectively, and it results in their YouTube video being, blacklisted or ranked very low. So that's the objective. We want to use tags to really augment our description, augment our title, and really tell YouTube and Google what our video is all about, but we want to do it in the proper way. We don't want to do any sort of black hat type of stuff. YouTube, they're very smart people over there. They're going to figure out pretty quickly if you are spamming and just trying to get people to come to your videos that, has nothing to do with the keywords that you're using. So some things that you should not do is you cannot use irrelevant keywords. So don't just go type in a bunch of keywords in the tag section that you think people are typing into Google or in YouTube just to try to get them to come to your video to watch. Okay, so for example, if you're selling, if you have a shoe store selling women's shoes, and you think, hey, a lot of people look for Lady Gaga on YouTube, so I'm going to put Lady Gaga in my tags and everything related to her. So if people look for Lady Gaga, they'll come to my video and maybe they'll buy some shoes from me. Well, I don't think that's going to work, and I think YouTube is going to be will pretty quickly realize that your video has nothing to do with Lady Gaga and you're just trying to use that keyword to try to capture views. So only use relevant keywords. All of your keywords should be relevant to what it is in the video and shouldn't really be related to anything other than what your video is about. Another thing that you shouldn't do is don't use too many keywords, and I'll give you some other hacks here in a second, but really use your most relevant keywords and the ones that people will search for the most. So let's take this a little step further and see what we need to do here for the hacks. The first thing is you should match your first keyword to the title. So in my example with my videos, for example, on Canada Small Business, I will have Canada Small Business in my title. I will have Canada Small Business in my description right at the very first words. And then what I do is I use the keywords in the tags itself again. So Canada Small Business, for example. So that really tells the YouTube search engines that, wow, Canada Small Business is really prevalent here. It's in the description, it's in the title, and it's in the tags. So this is going to make it rank really high for Canada Small Business in my example. So always a good best practice to match your first keyword to your title and of course to your description. Now what you should also do is put as many keywords in your tags from the title as possible. So if you have a really good title that refers to your keywords and you have some other keywords in there, well, make sure that you type in those tags that exist in the title as well, and you'll really see your video start to rank. Here's a very important thing. This is related to the spamming. Don't put tags that don't exist in your description. So don't go in there and start typing away all these potential tags that have to do with your video unless they appear in your description. So in other words, the more detailed your description is with keywords, the more tags you can have in your video without it being considered spamming by YouTube. Very important. Write the title. The description should be the most important aspect of your video. And if you have some good information on there, good links, good keywords, then go ahead, put in as many tags as you can as long as they exist in the description. Don't put anything in the tags that doesn't appear in the title or in the description. And finally, coming up here after this video tutorial, I'm going to show you some killer secret hacks that you can really use to really put yourself up higher on the YouTube search results and on the recommended videos on YouTube. So that's coming up. So let me pop over here to YouTube again and show you how I use tags and all of these best practices. Okay, so here we are back here on my YouTube channel, and in particular this video on critical decisions for Small Business Canada. Now, I've shown you the title and I've shown you the description, so let's zip down to the tags here, and I'll show you how I use the tags. So the first thing you'll notice is my first tag, as I mentioned, is Small Business Canada. So that ties into the first few words of my title and of course the first few words of my description, because I've just basically copied and pasted the title into the description. And then what I do is I have some, I have a pretty long description here, so I'm able to use a lot of keywords that exist in my description. So there might be, this might seem to be a lot of keywords, but I make sure that these exact words appear in my description. So if you read through my description, you'll see, Canadian corporation is in there, filing GST, filing HST, starting a small business. It's all in there in that exact context. So excuse me, so none of this is considered spam in any way, shape, or form because it exists in my description. So when YouTube comes and scans my video here, they're going to see that I really have loaded this with Small Business Canada. So I'm anticipating in a few days here that I will be ranked pretty high on Small Business Canada searches on YouTube, even though I've only got, well, 13 views so far. So throughout the course, I'll try to give you some examples here and some screenshots as to how I'm doing with my videos here. And, if I flip over to my Personal Pension Academy, here is TFSA account. That is all tied into my title, my description. I have a long description, so all of these tags and keywords appear in my description. So that is not considered spamming. That is just really effective use of tags. All right, so now after these video tutorials, you will have discovered that you'll have a really effective title, description, and tags. And even on that advice alone, on these tutorials alone, you should really be ranking pretty high with your particular keywords in a short amount of time. Now, what I'm going to be doing in the next video tutorials is giving you what I call killer secret hacks. So this is some really cool stuff that will actually, put your YouTube videos on steroids, so to speak, when it comes to YouTube search. So let's get started on those.